Here we are, live on a Friday, Friday the 13th. Actually, that's what it should say. Actually, it should say Freestyle Friday the 13th. Yes. Every once in a while this happens, Friday the 13th. But here we are. The luckiest day of the year. Hey Dre, how you going? What's happening? How you doing? You know, the dollar has basically taken a dump against the Thai baht. And, you know, just like I was saying yesterday, you have to change your perspective, although when it comes to money, this is pretty important because, you know, just a month ago, 2 months ago, it was 37. Now it's almost 33. So you've lost more than 10% of your money, around 10% of your money. That's not something that we can snooze on and that we don't think is important. But guess what? There's nothing you can do about it, really. So all you can do is hope you got enough money and hope everything works out. And hopefully, and you know, I don't trust the Thais and their government and money, and I don't trust the United States, but they have some loans coming due, and if those loans don't come due, I suspect we'll go back up 34, 35. So hopefully that will happen. Good morning to everyone. How many we got in here? 5 people, that's it? 5 on a Friday. Hopefully we'll get a few more coming in here in the next few minutes. I don't think some people expected me to stream today, but guess what? I am. I'm here. Alrighty. So as I said, 33.37. Now, what's today? Friday? It would be Friday, Thursday, Tuesday. It was 33.89. Then it was 33.75 yesterday. Now it is 33.37. So obviously things are changing and not necessarily for the best, at least for Americans. Also, on Tuesday, the air quality was 67, 90 yesterday. Today it's 112. So, not so good. Let's see here. 83 degrees, 91 is the high, 79 is the low, which is pretty good, and 86 is the feel-like temperature, 82% humidity. So there you have it. That's what it's like out, and it actually looks like it's going to rain. There are rain warnings. I got a message from a video from Carlos this morning showing the rain in his area, and I sent him back the rain in my area. It's raining everywhere here. It's flooding, and I don't know how many people are dead so far, but too many. Let's see here. What's today? Today's the Friday the 13th. Yeah, flash flood warning for 48 provinces, including Bangkok. It should be raining until almost next Friday, but really at least Wednesday, maybe to Friday. 4 people so far are dead. Worst floods in 80 years. And I know maybe some of you don't care, but you know, fortunately I'm able to use the internet. Things are working. But up in Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai, there's a lot of rain. They're not saying too much about the south, which, you know, I hope it doesn't. Wow, I hope it doesn't really continue and be rainy there, because, you know, what am I going to do if I'm down there and it's raining every day? There's not a whole lot I can do. Not much to do out in the villages. But, you know, the village, I can take the drone down there and fly the drone around the rubber plantations and above the, right next to our property, there's a pond. It's like a lagoon. It's fairly big. I mean, you don't want to go swimming in there. Who knows what's in there? But you can fly over it. You know, you can hang out for a little bit. And, you know, we got fruit and veg, like I said, so, you know, you can go for walks. And there is a coffee shop. I don't know if it's still open, but I know you can go, you know, like you can like take the kids and go for a little walk and go, oh, come on, let's go get an ice cream or something like that. But, you know, like after a while, it's like me and the wife were there a couple of years ago, and we were there, and it was like we were there 4 days. And we go, you know, we should stay another 3 or 4 days. And we're like, yeah, okay, that sounds good. So we changed our flight. I don't think we took the train down there that time. But we changed our flight, and like 2 days went by, we went, what are we doing here? We don't have anything to do. You know, I mean, they do have internet now in the area where she is. And that's interesting, you know, I mean, at least you can go online, you can watch movies and stuff like that. But man, a couple of years ago, the internet was piss poor there. And it was really bad. I mean, you had to be in a certain area, you know, it's kind of like walk up to the top of the hill and then you can get internet. But if you're down in the bottom in the valley, you can't get it. So, Dre, if you're still here, what's going on with you? Are you still coming here? What's happening? And to the other 8 people or 9 people in the stream, good morning. Sawadi Ton Chow. It is Friday the 13th today, which counts for something. Not a whole lot, but you know, I mean, I'm not like, I don't believe in the horror, but you know, there's been a lot of movies, and you know, it's just one of those days. I gotta catch up on a lot of your other streams. You're working hard. End of October, so you're coming end of October. Okay. Yeah, you know, I guess you could call it working hard. I'm just trying to stay busy. That's what it's all about, you know, really. And you know, yesterday after the stream, I had a bunch of things to go do. I went and did them. Came back home. It's like 4 o'clock, and I'm like, all right, so now what? I'm like, I already went to the gym. I don't want to go to the gym again. What am I gonna do? So I took a nap, which is what old men do. Take a little power nap. Took a little hour nap, and then cooked some food for my kids. But you know, when you have extra time, when you have more time than you really want, and sometimes I do, I think to myself, what am I doing? I should be living in the gym. But you know, I'm not 25 years old anymore. I don't feel like I need to be a gym rat anymore. And you know, then I just think about, okay, so what should I do? What can I do? And I need to take up another hobby. I need to start like making model airplanes or something. So, aside from the flooding, which is really bad, let's see what else is going on here, because I don't really know. But what I do know is I've been reading things about this ETA, the electronic, what is it called? The electronic, not transfer, is it? Electronic transfer. Let me see here. I can't remember. ETA Thailand. Yeah, where is it here? Thai electronic visa. Okay, so it doesn't say anything on their website yet about this ETA. And this is the thing, like I was saying yesterday. Until it's formally approved, it's not approved. It's not a done deal. It's supposed to be done by December. The same thing goes with the taxes. Electronic travel authorization. Yeah, supposedly it's going to be launched, but until it clears, until it becomes final, until the fat lady sings, nothing's going on. It's not a big deal, you know, so don't worry about it. And that's, you know, that is the thing here. Wait until everything happens, wait and see, and then you can be sure. But right now, I mean, all of this stuff, the taxes, the ETA, I mean, why make an ETA? Think about this. Why make it harder for people who have visa exempts to get into the country? Why give them the visa exempt at all? I don't understand that. Because you're making it difficult for somebody who, you want to make it easier for them to come in and stay longer, but now you're giving them an extra step. You're making them go through an extra step just to get into the country. So I don't understand that, and I don't know if that's going to clear, quite honestly. And if it does clear, all I got to say is, you know, why? Social media in Thailand has prophecies that the issuing of annual extensions of stay are about to become dependent on income tax clearance in Thailand. Again, until you see it and it's finalized, I don't believe it. There has been no confirmation from the cabinet or the immigration bureau. Such a policy would present all manner of problems. For example, many holders of long-term visas, such as elite, spend less than 6 months a year in Thailand, while notional tourists can easily exploit the new visa-exempt rules to clock up more than 180 days in a calendar year. A person's visa status does not magically show tax liability or the lack of it. And this is the thing. Really, if what I want to do is skirt the system here, I was thinking about this. If you want to skirt the system here, you want to get around it. In the United States, you get money, and let's say you're not getting money from one particular source. It comes from multiple sources, as it does for me. You get multiple sources of income. Sometimes people just deposit stuff in your account. Sometimes you get, you get a formal receipt, and sometimes you get things from the government. Okay, well, if it's a Social Security that's coming from the government for older people, then you can easily prove that. They can give you a letter. So you know right off the bat that whatever you're getting, let's say you get $18,000 a year, that's $1,500 a month. You know that $18,000 is not going to be declared in Thailand. They cannot charge you if you're an American. As far as some other places, it depends on if you're in the double taxation. So that's important to know. Now, if you got other money coming in there and you don't declare it on your U.S. tax return, or it gets deducted from your U.S. tax return, I would think that the U.S. tax return shows exactly how much you're being taxed, and then the Thais can look at that. And this is what I mean. It's a clusterfuck. I don't know how they can figure this out. I think that it's going to take them a long time. It's going to take them a couple years to nail this down. That's what I think. Heavily intoxicated foreigner steals taxi from drunk driving checkpoint and crashes into utility pole in Pattaya. This guy must have been hammered. A foreign tourist allegedly intoxicated after drinking alcohol and smoking cannabis. Oh, it was the cannabis that made him do it. Stole a taxi directly from a drunk driving checkpoint and crashed into a utility pole in Pattaya, injuring himself. The incident occurred early this morning, September 12th. I mean, you know, this is the kind of foreigners we have here. And you know what? The more I look at Pattaya, the more I see there are too many foreigners that come over here and just, they don't behave themselves. I mean, they don't even behave within the realms of normalcy. You know, I mean, you want to go out and have a couple drinks at the bar, I understand that. But you're getting so smashed that you want to jump into a taxi, steal it, and then crash into a utility pole. That's just stupid. Again, another stupid person. Now let me see something. I want to look at this video real quick. Oh, they already show it after it's been crashed. 4:06 a.m. Let me see here. It says the man sustained minor abrasions on his body. He was between 25 and 35. He was reportedly heavily intoxicated from alcohol and wearing only boxer shorts. He also claimed he had been smoking cannabis on top of being heavily drunk. I'm really wasted. Yeah, I drank a lot of booze, but you know what? I smoked some weed too. So the taxi owner, Mr. Sananyut Panpasong, had left the taxi running while he went into a convenience store. While choosing items, he noticed a foreign man opening the door and speeding his taxi away. However, the suspect didn't get very far before crashing into the utility pole. Fortunately, traffic police were conducting alcohol checkpoints nearby and were able to arrest the man quickly. The foreigner, whose identity was withheld by police, has been detained at Pattaya Police Station. Authorities plan to question him and proceed with legal action once he sobers up. He's probably sober by now. He will also have to pay for the damages to the car and the pole. They also plan to test him for harder illegal drugs as due to the gray legality of cannabis. Why is it a gray legality? Why is it in the gray area? Why? I thought cannabis was legal. So if I go out, I go into a cannabis store and I smoke a joint and then I walk out and I fall into a hole because I don't see it or because it's covered up and I fall into a hole. It's my fault because I'm high on cannabis. I mean, I'm breaking the law. Is that what it is? I don't understand. Suspects often try to blame incidents on it to attempt to avoid harsh charges for harder drugs like meth. Okay, whatever. This guy's an idiot. I don't care what he was using, he's a dummy. Who knows where the guy's from? It doesn't really matter where he's from. It doesn't. He could be Chinese, he could be Indian, he could be Russian, he could be American, he could be Australian. Who knows where he's from? It doesn't matter. What matters is the guy's going out getting hammered and getting in trouble. And he's not supposed to be. Now, Pattaya is supposed to install more CCTV cameras on Soy Chayapruk after the attack on the 82-year-old man from the other day. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't like having cameras everywhere, but who am I to say anything? Oh my God. And why are all these type of people, why are they in Pattaya? I don't see this in Phuket. Alleged drunk driver causes traffic jam in Pattaya after refusing to exit car following collision. Allegedly intoxicated woman causes chaos after minor traffic incident. She was believed to be under the influence of alcohol. Not cannabis, alcohol. Police spent over 30 minutes persuading the driver to step out of her car. The driver eventually complied, claiming she was allegedly waiting for insurance representatives to arrive, who never did. A bottle of alcohol was reportedly found inside the vehicle, and police kept it as evidence. The victims, who were riding a motorcycle in Songtao, reported that the women's car had crashed into them while emerging from Soy South Pattaya 16. Although the damage was minor and no one was injured, they simply wanted an apology. However, the driver refused to come out, forcing them to call the authorities. Oh my God. The name of the suspect has been withheld by police pending an ongoing investigation. She is expected to face legal charges for her actions and did not speak to the Pattaya news team. It's probably because she was hammered. She's hammered, she doesn't want to get out of her car. So now she's got to pay the piper. She's going to have to pay even more. All they wanted was a, I'm sorry. I don't know. What's the world coming to? I got myself this little pour over here. Yeah, I mean, it's the wild, wild west. Why? Why is that the case? Let's see here. All right, I got to read this one. I got to read these two. We don't need to know about the viral pygmy hippo Mudang. We don't need to know about her. Let me read this real quick. Unbelievable. Paradise Lost. Australian sex crime suspect arrested on Koh Phangan. Australian fugitive. Wanted for 13 sexual assaults and 2 other cases. The suspect was hiding in Thailand, planning to spend his retirement years there. Mr. Helio, a 62-year-old Australian national, might have looked like a typical foreign tourist wanting to spend his retirement on Koh Phangan, known for its beautiful seascapes and tranquility. However, the serious crimes he committed in the past caught up with him, preventing him from living the life he had hoped for. Helio was arrested by Suratani Immigration Police on September 12th for overstaying his visa. Jesus Christ. However, the crimes he committed in Australia were far more severe. This guy overstayed his visa. He got himself an extension, and then he overstayed that. He was staying at a resort in Koh Phangan. The police went to investigate, found him in violation of overstaying his visa. The man claimed he was planning to apply for a retirement visa to spend his later years in Thailand. When checking his criminal history, authorities found that he had an Interpol Blue Notice. Based on this information, investigators contacted the Australian Federal Police and learned he had an arrest warrant and criminal history in Australia, dating back to 2017. Initially, officials handed him over to Koh Phangan police station to process the overstay case. They will then coordinate with Australian authorities for his extradition. You can't run away from your problems. You know, I understand you think you can get away, but guess what? You can't. And I say that to people all the time. You may be able to run away from your mental issues. They're going to catch up with you, though. But if you run away from physical problems that you have, physical being like alimony, child support, you commit crimes that are serious crimes back wherever you're from, and then you come over here, eventually they will catch you. They will catch you. Mark my words. I've seen it many, many times. They will catch you. All right, listen to this. International schools in Thailand thrive reaching $2.5 billion in 2024. Oh my God. Contrary to the overall declining number of students and schools in Thailand due to falling birth rates, according to a leading Thai research center, the overall number of students in Thailand has been steadily decreasing, with a 1.7% drop in 2024 compared to the previous year. In contrast, the number of students in international schools increased by 10.2%. Holy moly. It is expected that in 2024, the international school market will have a value exceeding 87 billion baht. Now, my kids didn't go to an international school. They went to a bilingual school. They went to bilingual schools their whole life. They didn't go to, I couldn't afford to put them in 2 international schools, I just couldn't do that. Couldn't afford to put both of them in international schools. If I had one kid, that would have been a different story. But I couldn't afford to put both of them, so they went into bilingual school. And then after a while, it was like, they don't need the bilingual anymore. They speak better English than some of the teachers. So I was like, whatever. But we paid an awful lot for them to go there. The increasing trend of students in international schools in Thailand is due to several factors. One of these is the rise in foreign students, which corresponds with the number of foreign executives working in Thailand, growing at an average of 0.6% annually. Okay. The growing popularity of foreign education curricula, which are constantly updated and modernized compared to Thai curricula, along with the parents' increased investment potential. This is all a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Due to the continued decline of the overall number of students, there has been a gradual closure of schools between 2012 and 2024. That reminds me, my kids went to a preschool, and you had to pay for them to go to the preschool. I think it was preschool up through kindergarten. They had to pay to go there. We paid the school for them to be enrolled there. And I don't remember when I went back, but it was a couple of years ago. I went back, that school is gone. So it must have went out of business or closed down for whatever reason. The number of international schools has grown by an average of 5.0 per year. Opposite to other types of schools, this reflects the trend of shifting school businesses towards foreign education curriculum. No, you know what it is they want to make money. It's all about the money. Just follow the money. Oh, your little boy wants to study in Thailand? Oh, we have a school for him. It only costs $3,000 a month. Yeah, I spent a bundle, man. I mean, every time that we had the kids picked up to take them to school when they were younger, picked up to take them to school and then dropped off to us so that we didn't have to go there ourselves. And it was about 15,000 baht, and this is almost 20 years ago. It was like 15, 17 years ago. And it was about 15,000 baht for both of them. Now, they both went in the same vehicle. I understand, you're paying for the spaces. But still, I mean, I was like, and actually, I thought it was a pretty good deal. Because if you figure out how much it would cost you to go by taxi or to drive or whatever, I thought it might be a little bit more, but because of the number of students it was a minivan. So there were only about 12 or 15 kids in the whole minivan. But we had to pay, that was just one part that we paid for. And like I said, that was about 15,000 baht. Then we had to pay for their uniforms. We had to pay for their books. We had to pay for their tuition. And when they were kids, I mean kids as in preschoolers, we didn't have to pay for books. I don't think we had to pay for uniforms in preschool, but once they got to kindergarten, they had to pay for everything. And you have to get, and that's not all that much, but you know, it all adds up. You're paying for them to embroider their names, embroider the school's name, you know. Yeah, I understand. You know, it's like 24, 25,000 baht. It's expensive. And that's the thing. If you know, listen, I just saw some guy today. He's 22 years old. And he says he's moving to Thailand. Now, I see this all the time. Okay. Hello there, Aiden. Good morning. Good morning, Justin. Good morning, Dre. Good morning, everybody watching who isn't speaking. Good morning to all of you. This guy's 22 years old. He's like, I'm going to move to Thailand. I'm like, do you have a career here? Are you building a career here? Well, sort of. Because I think he's an MMA fighter. So he's gonna train here. But really, I mean, I don't know, how long is he gonna be here? Most guys, I mean, once in a while you get a guy who comes here and trains for 3, 4 years, 5 years. I understand that happens. So maybe that's what he's doing, I don't know. But most 22-year-olds, if you're not coming here to train in Muay Thai, train in MMA, or whatever, something like that, or you know, you're not extremely interested in the culture, you're like, I really want to learn how to speak Thai. I'm going to be there for 3 years to learn how to speak Thai. Okay. If you're just coming over because you're 22 and you're like, I'm sick of America, I'm sick of Australia, I'm sick of England. Oh, I'm tired of it. And you just think that here is the answer? It's not your answer. I'll tell you that right now. It ain't your answer. Because the most important thing that you can do is to have some kind of a value for people. You know, what are you going to do if you come over here? Okay, granted, maybe you graduated university and you have something. That's good. But you're still building your career from the bottom here at 22. So I would say the percentage of 22-year-olds that can actually make it here is pretty low. I would say, you know, if you're close to 50, yeah, then it's a lot easier. Oh, God. You know, I've been in, like, major pain lately. Oh. Big pain. But if you're 22 years old, what are you doing here? Your family's not here, in all likelihood. Your family's not here. Well, I mean, come on, that's not much, really. Wow, they're going to earn $12 a day now. I mean, it's a good trend, but they're still making peanuts, you know. Good morning, good morning. That's peanuts, you know, really. You think about it. I understand, but it's still peanuts. It's still peanuts. $12 for a day of work. And I'm not talking about, listen, they could work from 4 in the morning until 6 at night. And they're making $12. Oh, I'm so lucky. And, you know, this is what I tell my kids. I go, you know, just be grateful you're going to school. You get your degree. You got your degree. Because if you don't, you're going to be like every other schmuck out there who's just working. And, I mean, it's depending on what you're doing, it's not always a bad thing. But in some ways, it is. Because you don't have that one little thing that gets your foot in the door. Good morning, good morning. You don't have that piece of paper. And that piece of paper is important. And, you know, it's like, listen, you know, I don't know if anybody could help me with this. I don't really know. Good morning, Carlos. I don't really know if anybody can help me with this, but I got a buddy in Myanmar. He's Burmese. Nanda. He was my fixer many times when I went to Myanmar. He's been 2 quarters Korean, and I went there. I don't remember if we went once or twice, but we went there, and he was our fixer then. And, you know, I mean, he makes like 15, 20 bucks a day, right? That's what we paid him. And he's a great guy. I've known him now, I mean, maybe close to 20 years. And he has a son who, you know, when I first met him, his son was a baby. Now he's grown up, and he's working at a bank. I think he graduated in a Burmese university. He wants to go to a Thai university. He's like, I want to send him there. I'm trying to figure it out for him. I'm going, listen, I don't even know how he can get over here. Can he get here as a refugee? Oh, well, that's very difficult. Okay. But I see all these Burmese here. I don't know if they're working illegally or what the deal is. So I don't really know what to tell him. And, you know, he's like, I tried to get his kid to come over here, and I said, listen, your kid can go to Ramkhamhaeng University, can go somewhere like that. He doesn't have to pay an arm and a leg. But he's still got to have money to live. And that's probably 400 bucks. $350. I mean, you know, at least. You know, he shares a room with like 2 or 3 other guys. And, you know, who knows if that's going to work. So, you know, he hasn't been able to figure anything out, which I understand, it's not easy. He said, well, how about I come over there on a tourist visa, try to find some work, and then I work, I make money, and I give him the money, and I'm like, you know, it's like they got you in a cycle. You know, the Burmese, they hire him so that they can pay them the least amount possible. I mean, there's a lady in our neighborhood who runs one of the food stalls, and she's got a Burmese girl working for her. She may be Laotian, I don't know. But ever since I've lived in the neighborhood, she's always had a Burmese or Laotian helper. Always. Now this is, you know, 10, 12 years we've been living there. Well, maybe not 12, but she's always had a helper there, and she pays her like 5,000 baht a month. And you know, the girl gets to live there. So she's paying her, you know, $150 a month. The girl thinks it's good money because she doesn't have to pay for anything. She gets food and she gets a place to live. So I'm like, dude, I don't know what to tell you because you're gonna come over here. He's older. He's gotta be in his 40s. You know, early 40s. So he's in his early 40s. He's going to come over here. He's not what you'd call the, you know, I mean, I'm sure he's pretty strong. I mean, he walks and he leaves me in the dust, and I walk all the time. Now, I'm a bit older than him. I'm probably 20 years older than him. But he can walk really fast, and he doesn't take big strides or anything like that. He just walks fast. So I figure, you know, he's probably a little bit stronger than I think. However, he's competing with guys who are in their 20s, who are teenagers, and they are ripped. I mean, some of these guys, you see some of these guys in the market. First of all, you look at him and you go, if this guy got pissed off, he could do some damage to people. And you look at them, they're all in shape, and I'm like, how's he going to compete with that? What's he going to do? Now, maybe he could get lucky and get a job and get in, but then he's got to earn enough money to be able to send money back to his kid that his kid can save so his kid can come over here and live. I don't know how he's going to do it. Yeah, isn't that great? $3.30. So making 10 bucks here, making $8 is pretty good. I need to talk to the little banana girl. She's the banana girl. She's right next to where the pork stall girl used to be. Because I know she's not making huge money. She just sits there all day selling bananas and and watermelon. That's all she does. So she has a job like that, but they're not going to give that to a guy. There's no guy going to be able to sit there and they're going to be, oh, here you go. It's not going to happen. So I don't know what to tell him. You know, if somebody needs an employee, maybe you can hire his kid. To me, that'd be the best thing. I don't know, but you know, I just don't know. I don't know what to do for him. You know, I'll try, but you know, I'm limited into what I can do. It's not like when I was living in the States and I had connections and I could call somebody up and go, hey, this guy needs a job. You think you can get him on, you know, part-time or something? Be easy then. Here, it's much different. And, you know, I haven't really worked formally for, you know, 11, 12 years now. I mean, I did work as a photographer, but that was on the side, so it doesn't really equate. All right, so let's look and see here. What is this? Yeah, the big news is the flooding, but it's the worst flood in 80 years. Yeah, let me see something here. Because I'm always picking on Patia. Oh, you know, I don't know where I saw it, but I just saw it the other day. And, you know, I went to the Big Buddha. I did a video about the Big Buddha when I was down in Phuket. And, you know, I did a, what do you call it? I did a flyover and, you know, did all that kind of stuff. And I had a good time there. You know, for a temple, I had a good time. I went there with the wife. We looked at a couple little monkeys, you know, and people shooting at the monkeys with slingshots. Then we went and checked out the, you know, the Buddha. She didn't even want to go up to it. She's like, I've seen this stuff. I said, oh, all right. So I went up, and then, you know, there was a drone zone. So you could fly the drone, and you could get all kinds of. So anyway, I went there. I saw the other day that there was some drug dealer there, and they went to arrest him. They shut down the whole place because they wanted to catch this guy. Now, I don't understand what it is about Thailand. It entices people to come here who really, if they were back home, they might be in jail. Maybe that's what it is. You know, that in Thailand, you won't go to jail. They're a lot easier, a lot more lenient here. They don't look into your background, but that's changing. Yo, good morning. Just picked from up Nong Khai and the water is about to come over. Yeah. I know. That's the problem right now. Yeah, let me take a look at this stuff. Phuket's on rain alert. And there's flooding down there. My wife just came from there. Fortunately, she wasn't in an area that was flooded. Supposedly, we're going down to Suratani in, I don't know how many days, about 10 days. And I know where we are. It could be an area that floods, but I don't think it's one of the first areas that floods. So hopefully, we'll be able to get around that. Let me see here. Let's see here. Well, yeah, Chiang Rai's a disaster. Yeah, it's just in the toilet now. All right, in the Bangkok Post, Prime Minister speeds up flood aid. Well, that's a good thing, as they should. It's pretty much. Oh, what is this here? La Lisa wins second award at VMAs. I don't even know what the VMA is. What is a VMA? Video Music Awards? Is that what it is? Yeah, Video Music Awards. Oh, she won for Rockstar, her first single. Wow. The only thing I'm looking forward to, the only thing I'm really looking forward to seeing La Lisa in, I don't listen to her music, okay? Be clear about that. Yes, I'm still going strong. Thank you. She's supposed to be in, what the hell is the name of it? White Lotus. The White Lotus. Suckerhorn. Hey, how you doing, buddy? How's everything going? Long time no speak. So she's supposed to be in White Lotus, this girl. And you know, I'm gonna, when it comes out, I'll have to show my wife so that my wife is happy, and you know, she'll be clicking her heels for a couple of days. I can't believe she was in White Lotus. Oh my God. She never said anything when I was in a couple of movies. She never said anything to me. I mean, this is a long time ago, but don't lie, Scott, you're a big fan of her. Probably have a poster in the bedroom. Oh, yeah, that's it, exactly. All is well, thanks, sir. Still chasing after the young bloke. Well, I'm sure he'll keep you busy for a while until he goes off to college. My kids, you know, it's like, I try to keep them busy, you know. That's all. Oh, shit. Hopefully my wife woke up Nicholas this morning. I don't have any, you know, I mean, I like music, but like if I was to meet, listen, a long time ago, I think it was Motley Crue's first album or second album. I think his second album had just come out. And my buddy goes, oh yeah, you know, Tommy's coming into town. I go, Tommy who? I don't know any Tommy. He goes, Tommy from Motley Crue. He goes, you know, I grew up with him. He went to my school and I know his sister. And I said, oh wow. And so Tommy Lee from Motley Crue came in and we partied our asses off for 2 nights. We went out 2 nights in a row and then he was off somewhere else. And I thought, he's just like everybody else. But you know, he's got chicks willing to put things up their hoo-ha because he's, you know, a rock star. And you know, I mean, it wasn't like I was like, wow, Tommy Lee, I'm so impressed. Okay, I'm impressed he plays the drums and he does it well. Okay, good. That's great. And he was a nice guy. Other than that, though, like if I met La Lisa, I'd be, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. You know, she's probably a good-looking girl. You know, from what I've seen, she looks pretty good. And other than that, it'd be like, all right, so now what? My wife would probably be worshiping her feet. I don't know, you know. It used to be that you couldn't say one negative thing about Blackpink. And I asked my wife, I said, is your favorite color still purple? No, it's pink and black. Oh, God, you know? Yeah, well, I hate needy chicks. You know, really, I do. I don't like them. I hate those clingy ones. You know, I don't know how she is, but I mean, honestly, well, I think she's going out with some, you know, designer's son or something like Louis Vuitton or I don't know, but you know, she's worth a lot of money, so you know, she's not running around with some guy from McDonald's. Good to see you, Suckhorn. All right, listen. What do we got here? 11 thumbs up. Oh, that's horrible. That's just terrible. Got 30 people in the chat, and you only got 10 or 11 thumbs up. Smash the like button, please. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you could do that. I would appreciate it. What else? Is there something else? She wanted a commitment. You're welcome, Sukahorn. Yeah, if you're enjoying the stream and want to support the channel, there are a few ways you can contribute. You can use YouTube Super Chats, Cash App, Buy Me a Coffee, or Patreon. Plus, you can become a member of the YouTube channel for as little as $1.99 a month. There's also a merch available right below the video window. You can also get stuff from my Amazon, which doesn't cost you anything extra. If you go to my website, and you can grab one of my books from there, an AmericanInBangkok.com, or from Amazon. If you need any help, please feel free to shoot me an email, and we can set up a consultation. All right, I got that shit out of the way. Thank you, Aiden. Thank you very much. You are a gem. I appreciate it. It looks like this month may be a pretty good month, which I'm always happy to say. Please give him a thumbs up. I'm starting to feel my age. And you know, yesterday I went home and I was like, man, I'm just in agony. Took a couple of like Advil, same as Advil. And I thought, I need to be in the gym like every single day. And I thought, that means a couple of weeks, like 3 weeks, a month of nothing but pain. Just pain. I need to be waking up doing push-ups, going to bed doing sit-ups. And I'm like, do I really want to do that? Not really. What time is it? 9:45, that music comes on. Every day. Unbelievable. I think they just turned it on to try to irritate me. Archie Luxury. I haven't watched him in a few minutes. I'm sure he's doing fine. Cold. So this place will be opening up in 15 minutes. Not that it really matters, but there are a couple things I need to get from the grocery again. And you know, I've been meaning to get a couple of things to order them. I told you guys I ordered some the little trays that you make ice balls with. And I tried them out. I figured out how to do it, and I know how to do it pretty well now. And they came out pretty good, and I like them. But I think I'm gonna buy. They have like these two other ones. It's like a single ball maker. I think I'm gonna use that and try to make. I'm gonna buy a couple of them. They're only like 50 baht each or something. And then what else do I need to get? I need to get an immersion blender. I need to get a, what is it called? A croffle? Is it croffle maker? Yeah, they're called croffles. Which that's 1,000, 1,500 baht. What else do I need? $33.33 is getting scary. Imagine going to 32 or lower. Well, I was here when it was 25. And so I'd like to say that being at, 37 or 35 or even 33, oh, I'm so happy. But I'm not. And I don't understand it. It's not like, maybe it's because of the election, because of the Fed. But, I mean, Thailand has a lot of loans that they're going to, who knows, they may default on. And I just wonder about that. Listen, I got to say, I know there's only one Minato in here, and there's only, as far as I know, there's only one Minato. Japanese restaurant. And I used to go when the mall was a different mall and they didn't fix it all up, change it all around, make a food court. I used to go to Minato because the food was great. And they had a nice girl there. She's a good-looking girl. You know, I don't know how old she is, maybe 35. But, you know, nice-looking, very personable. And I got her speaking English to me, and we got to be friends, you know, after a few years. And then they changed it over. Now Minato is right across the way over here. And she doesn't work there anymore. She moved. She went somewhere else. Which is fine. I'm still in touch with her, but they're still there. So the past couple of days I've been going there, and I get some sushi or sashimi. You know, it's not all that much. I mean, yesterday I had a couple of things, and it was 250 baht. I'm like, what is that? $5.50? $6? Something like that? $6? No, it's got to be more than that. What's 250 divided by 34? $7 or something like that. Well, like I said, Propeller Head, I was here at 25. That's when I first started coming. It was at 25. And then I went back and forth, and it was still like 25. And, you know, it went up and down a little bit, but not like it is now. And, you know, try twice boiled water for making your ice ball. The ice should be clear. Yes, I know that. Jono made it made me fully aware of that. Which to me, it doesn't really matter. I don't really care, but I understand, and, you know, I know there's a way that you have to make it. But I'm going to buy these ones that are, you know, I think it's like, shit, man. It's a single, let me see here. Yeah, it's something, oh, that was expensive. That's like 11,000 baht. No, thank you. 9,000, 13,000. No. We don't need something like that. These are a little bit too expensive. Here's one, 748 baht, and it's 2 ice balls. Here's another one, 633. Yeah, these are not the ones. These are the really expensive ones. Yeah, these are not what I want. Anyway, I have the whiskey ball molds. I just tossed and distilled water in there, and they work fine. Yeah. Let me see here. Keeps giving me the same thing. Anyway, I'll find it. You know, you can get some for, I mean, really cheap. I think I bought 2 and they were 103 baht. They're just plastic. Oh, it says here coffee tools. Let's see here. Do they have English? No, there's no English. But here it is here, 995 baht. All right, so you get 2 in here in this mold. I don't know, the ones I got, they came out pretty good, but I just want to get another one just to, something like, this one's 13 baht. I mean, come on, 23 baht. That's pretty cheap. Buy 2, so if I break one, I'll have an extra one. Anyway, there's a lot of little tiny things, like 50 baht, 25 baht, 100 baht that I want to get off of Shopee. That's all I use it for. I know some people love Shopee and love Lazada, but I don't. I only like them for the cheap stuff. I think you got to remember that. I'd rather get stuff from Amazon than get it from Shopee, because some of the stuff I just don't trust it, you know. Anyway, so that's what I'm focusing on. That I'll spend an hour today just looking around for stuff, getting a couple little things that I need. Like I said, the croffle maker. It's like a waffle maker, and you use eggs. Here's one right here, 269 baht. Come on. Can you go wrong with that? It's off a knock knock. Looks pretty good. I don't know. It's cheap, you know. Sometimes you get what you pay for. Well, I know they sell Ring cameras here. And as far as the fire, you mean fire sticks? Or I'm not sure what a fire TV is. I have 2 of the fire sticks. 2 different people gave me the sticks. And they work great. I've been watching stuff every single day. At night, I come home and, you know, instead of turning on Netflix, which I do watch sometimes, I turn on the Fire Stick. You know, works pretty good. I don't know why, you know, my wife and I were talking about it yesterday, about where do we want to move, and I'm like, we have to keep looking, because the places that they like are just not, they're not what I want. Like a built-in fire stick. Oh, I don't know about that. I think you can get that. I think Jono has one. I think he pays for it every year or something like that, you know. I don't know. I really don't know about that. I'm not into that much into, I mean, listen, if I want, I got YouTube, I got Movie Joys, I got Netflix, I have 2 Fire Sticks with different apps on them. I don't need to really, you know, get anything else. I'm not into that stuff that much. I don't watch that much TV. I mean, only lately have I been watching a little more TV. But usually I don't watch much. I watch maybe, you know, 2 hours a night, if that. So that's something else. I mean, you know, like, I don't know how many people are using Shopee. I personally like Lazada. But Lazada doesn't always have the same things. No, they won't. You need an adapter. You need a converter. So, you know, with a computer, that's a different story, but with like a TV, if you bought a TV in America, you can't just come over here and plug it in unless you plug it into a converter. And I know that because my mother gave me an espresso maker, and I came over here and plugged it in, and the next thing I know, burned the motor out. That was the end of that. So... what time is it now? You know, I mean, these are some of the things that well, it's not 9 o'clock here, so it's 10 o'clock here. It's got to be, yeah, 10 o'clock here. So they're getting ready to open up. These are some of the kind of things that, you know, once you know them, sometimes I have to double check. I'm like, am I going to need to bring, you know, like a plug adapter? Am I going to need to bring the plug when I go somewhere? Like if I go down to the south, I always bring an adapter because I always forget what kind of plugs do they have down in the south. And I'm like, I don't want to have to plug something in and it's not going to work because the plug is not the same. You know, if you're plugging in a computer or a TV, sometimes the plugs are different. So I always bring an adapter with me. And I'm gonna bring, like I said, I'm gonna bring, when I go to the south, I'm gonna bring my my drone. Because it's in good shape, the thing works good now, I'm flying it well, and I wanna bring it. And then when I go to Vietnam, I'm gonna bring it. And actually, I need to remember to write Vietnam. 2 times I've been denied from my visa because the first time I was denied because I didn't put my middle name. The second time I was denied because I put hotel where it was supposed to be the address. I didn't put an address. And so I just put in for it again, and I put in an address of a hotel and the name of the hotel. So hopefully I'll be approved. Then I got to get approved for the, no. Not going to CASHAPP. No way. I mean, I can think of a lot of other places to go besides CASHAPP. You know. I mean, you know, it's okay. But it's a tourist trap. I mean, really. You go there, there's nothing but tourists there. And, you know, I've been there many times now. At this point, we went 2 times in the last year. So, you know, not going to happen. And, you know, Vietnam might be nice. It might be a nice change. And then I think sometime in December, we're going to go somewhere else. I don't know where, but we'll go somewhere. And then next year, we're going to go back to the States and maybe to Ecuador, and who knows, maybe to Portugal. I don't know. It just depends on where the flights go through and all that kind of stuff. You know. But I'm game to go pretty much anywhere, as long as I haven't been there before. And if I have been there, I'll go back to Ecuador because my buddy's there. I'll go to Portugal because I really liked it. And I'd like to go other places than just Lisbon. But, you know, Portugal, I think the prices in Portugal are starting to go up. And I think it's not quite the bargain that it used to be. And I think it a little lower on the list of expat destinations. Just like Costa Rica. Yeah, I mean, I've heard of Porto. I know about Porto. I don't know how it is. You know, I haven't been there, so I just been to Lisbon. But I can tell you, the one thing I was impressed with was that the coffee prices in Lisbon were just dirt cheap. I mean, it was like 50 cents for an espresso. I couldn't believe it. I was like, does your buddy live at altitude? No. He lives right by the ocean. Although he does want to go to Quito, and he's thinking about buying a place there, and he's like, he wants me to look at Quito. I'm like, I don't know. You know, what also impressed me there was the price of groceries, which I always, you know, drone on about, but the price of groceries in Ecuador and like fresh seafood, dirt cheap. Really, really cheap. I mean, Thailand is like 2 times as much, maybe 3 times as much for some items as it is in Ecuador. Not really. I mean, you know, I've been to Mexico many times in the past. I don't know, maybe, you know, I mean, like, maybe I could find somewhere that I really like, but it's not something, I mean, you know, I'm happy here, you know, I mean, I speak the language, and I don't have any problems here, and, you know, like I said, and I don't mean to, I'm not trying to do anything by saying this, but this place to me is like home was before I came here. This is my home. I live here. This is normal. It's not exotic. It's not anything special. Once in a while I find something and I go, wow, this is cool. I mean, Canome was a nice little town. It was great there. But it's not like it's gonna make me say, oh my God, this place has changed my life. It's such an extraordinary, exotic place. It wasn't. You know, it was a nice little town, and it was cool, and it was quiet, and I liked it. Maybe sometimes you can do a video on getting a visa to U.S. for your wife. I hear horror stories. Really? We had absolutely no problem. And she's going to get it again in a couple of months. And it won't be any problem. The higher altitude places meant to have great temperatures. Yeah, I mean, I know that, but like where he is, it's like 77 degrees or something, you know. It's not bad. But as far as the visa goes for her, it depends, you know, what your girl does. It depends on, you know, if she's working, if she's got a, you know, if she's got a family, if she's got a reason to come back here. It depends on, you know, what kind of money she has in the bank. It depends on, you know, quite a few things. But I can tell you that my wife had no problem. Well, so do I. I don't understand what that means. You still have residency in the U.S., but what does that mean to her? I still have residency in the United States. I'm still a U.S. resident. I'm a citizen. I don't know if you mean you're not a citizen. I don't know about that, but she should be. I mean, you know, here's the thing. Can she get a visa on her own? That's what you really want. You want her not to need a visa through you, where you have to sponsor her. You don't want that. I mean, you know, if she went in and applied for the visa all herself, does she have the funds? Is she working? Does she have a history of work? Does she have a reason to come back here? You know. Google Digital 2094 open PDF version is spare. Okay, cool. I will look at that. Thank you, Aiden. I mean, really, she got it, and I was so surprised because I was like, that's it? You know, it took her, she applied online by herself, and I said, do you want me to go with you? And she goes, nah, you don't have to go with me. And then it turns out that I wouldn't have been able to go in anyway. She went in, and I knew when she went in, because I was like, you know, I called her, I go, oh, good luck, you know. And then like 15 minutes later, she called me up and she goes, that's it, I'll get my visa in 3 days. She had her visa within 3 days. And she still has her visa. It's a 10-year visa. Okay, so if she's been there for what? I don't know how long they have to be there. What is it, a year and a half, something like that? She should get it easy. I wouldn't even worry about it. But yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying about getting a visa for somebody here in Thailand. It's not always so easy. And it can be a pain in the ass, especially if it's some guy who pulled a girl, and whether she's just a really poor girl or whether she's a girl that he picked out of a bar or whatever it is, the lower down the rung on the ladder that the girls are, the harder it is to get them in over there. That's the way I look at it. If they have no history, they have no reason of coming back. You know, maybe their parents have died, or, you know, they don't know their father and their mother died, and they don't have any kids or something like that. Then it makes it harder for them to get over there. I haven't heard any horror stories myself. But that doesn't mean that, you know, they're not taking place. I mean, I understand. For some people, it may be really hard. And I can tell you, I do know some people in the past, I'm talking about like 25, 30 years ago, that when they tried to get into America, it was a pain in the ass. But I didn't really know those people the way I know some people now here. But it was mainly because I do know one guy. The girl was a working girl. Very attractive girl, very smart. I mean, she was really cool. I mean, she was a nice girl. I mean, nice when it comes to if you're not doing business with him. I don't know about how. I mean, this guy had money. He was making $300,000-400,000 a year. He worked he was like some kind of a consultant regarding jets or something like that. So he worked at all the airports, and he would go around the world, and he would inspect things and help them. And anyway, that's the basic gist of what he did. But she was his girlfriend, but he still screwed around on her. And, you know, she didn't like it, but, you know, he took care of her. And he got her a visa to the U.S. through him because he had the money. And then she got it renewed later on because I didn't see her for a long time. And then I saw her and I went, hey, what are you up to? You know, I just like ran into her. I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was the airport. I ran into her. I go, hey, what's going on? I told her, well, yeah, I was in the airport. And I go, I'm married now, you know. And she's like, really? And we started talking. And she goes, yeah, I just got my visa renewed again. I'm going back to New York. Because they weren't living together, but she would go over there and she would stay there with me. So she got in, and she was a working girl. But she was the only one that I really know that got in. That got in. Aside from like in Sweden, I knew a couple guys in Sweden who brought girls over, but they were paying. But you know, I don't know any girls really that I know quite a few girls who. I mean, there's one girl. She lives in the United States now. She came over here for a couple of weeks. She works with my wife's company. She went to school in the United States. Then she came back here. She worked here for I don't know how many years. Now she's back in the United States working again. They let her go work there. And I was like telling my wife, why don't you try to go work there? Try to work in the United States and I'll go over there. Parents are getting older. We'll stay there for a couple of years. You know, I can live in Ecuador, I can live in Mexico, whatever. We can live there part-time. And you know, it would be good. So maybe in the future that could happen. But the difference between her is that the girl already had her green card. My wife doesn't have her green card, and you know, it takes time. And so I personally don't think at my age that it's worth it for her to get the green card because it'll take too much time. I don't know, maybe, but I'd rather just go somewhere else. I don't want to live in the United States anyway. Anyway, lots of guys want to get their girls over to where they are, and that's something I said a couple of streams ago. You want your relationship to work, you got to be in the same place. That's just it. Very seldom does a long-distance relationship work, especially here with a Thai girl and with guys, and guys don't trust them, and the girls don't trust the guys. But if you live here, then maybe they can trust you. If they live there, then, you know, it's a little different. And I think it's important that you do live together. I mean, honestly, listen, I mean, I'm away from my wife for a week or two, and that's it. We don't want to be apart more than that. Anything more than that, I go with her. You know. If she's going somewhere and she's got to go there for like a month, I'm going with her. You know. So you got to remember that. You want a Thai girl, you want to get hooked up, and you don't want to just be traveling back and forth, having that kind of relationship. You got to figure out, well, what's the end game? What are you gonna do? What is she gonna do? You're set up, she's already there. Done deal. But if she's, you know, here and she hasn't gone anywhere, she's never traveled, it's more difficult. I think now my wife's been to where? She's been to Ecuador. She's been to the United States a couple times. She's been to Portugal, Ireland, Amsterdam, Singapore, Hong Kong, Japan, Spain. Germany. She's been to all those places. So now they look at her passport and they go, she's been all these places. She's going to come back. And it's that simple. Is she going to come back? They already know this. And they probably figured if she's got the money in the bank and she's willing to show it, she's willing to go through the procedures, we'll give her a shot. Then they give her a shot. Then they go, all right, so she's been to a bunch of countries. Now they give her a shot without any incident. And, that's the thing. I know for you, Rick, it's probably different. But, like, for guys here, some guys think that some of the Thais never go anywhere, but they do. I know a couple of Thais, they live in Australia. They migrated to Australia. I knew them here, and they went over to Australia. So it can be done. It just takes some money in the bank. It takes some money in the bank. It takes, some of the right things to fall in place. I mean, if my wife was working in some job and she was making peanuts and she had, like 10,000 baht in the bank, she probably ain't going anywhere. When they ask who's going to take care of you, I am, myself. I've got a credit card, I've got this, I've got credit cards, I've got this, I've got that. Then it's easy. But, you get some girl right off the farm and she doesn't have much money and the guy's not sponsoring her, well then, it'd be quite a bit more difficult. So in that regard, I'm really lucky because I never have to worry about it. Because I thought I did. I was like gonna ask my parents, can you like help sponsor her so she can get over here? And then we didn't need it. So I was like grateful. And I know that there's a lot of people here, they'd like to go over there. She'd like to work there. She's like, she doesn't understand that, well, here, if you make, let's say you make 150,000 baht, 200,000 baht a month, which is, pretty good money. The cost of living is relatively low. Now you go to America and you might make 250, 300,000, 350,000, but your cost of living is quite a bit higher. So you may have more money left over here. It's not about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep. And I have to tell her that all the time. But I'm like, listen, I'll go anywhere, I don't care. I mean, I don't really want to live in America, but like if she wanted to go and she needed to stay there for 2 years, I would be like, okay, no problem. I don't care. I'd leave here, I'd go, and I'd go, well, I miss Thailand. I'll go somewhere else. Well, we're in active review status. Expect we have an interview in December. Okay. And, I don't think there'll be any problem. From the sounds of things and from what I know of you and remember of you, I don't think there'll be any problems. I think it'll be a straightforward thing. As long as she doesn't totally screw up the the interview, which is highly unlikely. Now, if my wife went in and they said, what do you do for work? Now, she goes, oh, I work with hotels and da-da-da-da-da. Then it would be like, okay, no problem. If she goes, well, I dance on a pole. What are you talking about? Then it might be like, no, I don't think you're coming in. Yeah, it's the disposable income. It's what you got left over. That's why a guy making $1,500 a month but saving $1,000 a month is better off than some guy making $5,000 and he saves $300 a month. He's only got $300 that he can save a month. So, but yeah, it's a good question, really. But there's no one set answer. I think you have to meet several criteria, and if you are someone who meets that criteria, then generally you have a good chance of being approved. If you don't have, say, money in the bank, if you have a job that you've been working at for, say, 4 months, if you don't have any kids, you know, stuff like, hey, thanks, Joe. How you doing? Good morning. Everybody click on Joe's super chat, please. Click the thumbs up. I appreciate it. If you know, if you have some of these things already, she has money in the bank, which means she got her own money. She doesn't need you. You don't have to sponsor her for anything. You know, if she's got a job she's been at for 10 years, she's making good money, she can show her pay stubs, she's a tourist. They don't care. They'll let you go. They want, you know, okay, go ahead, you're a tourist, no problem. You got enough money, you know, it's not like you're dying to get away like the Burmese are. Now, I don't know how often they're approving Burmese to go in as tourists, because we know you're going to go back to Burma. I don't know. Or like in Russia and the Ukraine. I don't think that's happening. So it's not that difficult, you know, really. It's just, you know, you gotta abide by what, you have to know what they want, have a good idea what they want, and then, you know, you have to meet those criteria. If you don't, then, you know, you got no money. If you don't have a job and you're not being sponsored, you don't have a chance in hell of getting in. You know, it's like some place that says you need $3,000. Listen, if they said to me for, what is it, an LTR visa, you got to have $1 million in the bank or you're not getting in, and I show up and I go, I got $20,000. Will that suffice? They're going to go, no, you don't meet you don't qualify. Too bad. Simple as that, you know. So, you know, if you're gonna have a girl, make sure that there's potential in the long term. And, you know, honestly, I didn't really think about that. I mean, I got lucky. Really, that's the reason for me. I just happened to pick the right girl, and things happened, and, you know, that was just it. I got lucky, plain and simple. But really, what you should do is, if you come over here and you're like, oh, I'd really like to, you know, I've been running around for 2-3 years now, and I really want to, you know, get into something serious with somebody. Okay, pick a girl that you know, she doesn't need you to support her. She's got decent money, she's got her shit together, she doesn't have all kinds of bills, and she's deeply in debt. Don't get that kind of girl. Find a chick who's got her shit together. I don't know how else to say it. You would do that in the United States. Why would you get some chick, you know, in the United States who, she's deeply in debt, you're not in debt, she's in debt, you got to pay her bills because she doesn't have enough money to pay them, she doesn't have a very good job. Why would you pick a girl like that? You know, it's easy for me to see it now. I mean, you know, when I was just trying to get laid, I didn't care. You know. But that's what I would say now. And I think that's what they think. The smart ones, that's what they think. I mean, you know, there's some, they just want to get laid too, right? But the really smart ones, they're not going to hook up with you after one night. They're going to be like, no, I want to see where this is going to go. And I want to know, you know, like, well, what's your deal? What do you do for work? You know, are you going to be able to carry the load in the relationship? And I don't mean carry the full load. I mean, are you going to be able to contribute to where her life is going to be a little bit better? It doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to be like she's driving around in the village truck. She gets to borrow that from somebody, you know, they drive her around or something like that, and then all of a sudden she's driving around in a Rolls. That's not what I mean. You know, she's got to be able to see that you're doing well. You know, I'm always looking for a high quality load carrier. Carry the load. Well, you got to be able to carry the load too, you know. That's the thing. I mean, you know, it's like Sometimes I pay, sometimes she pays. And sometimes she's at home and she's, she's like cooking and cleaning and doing things and telling the kids to clean. And I'm laid back with my feet up. And then sometimes I'm scrubbing the dishes and I don't care. I do it because I want to. Because I want, things to be a certain way. And it works. That's all I care about, and that's really all you should care about too. But, if you want to get her in, that's a different story. You got to pick the right one. There's my advice. Pick the right one. Don't pick some chick who doesn't have an education. She's barely making ends meet. She doesn't have any money. You're supporting her. You're doing everything for her. Not a good choice. So, anyway, I think that's about all I got today. All I have. Now, let me see something here. I wanted to look at something here. Oh, God. I didn't see this until just this second. Japan is set to criminalize cannabis. I thought it was criminalized. Possession and cultivation already banned, but curbs on medical marijuana will be eased. Japan will criminalize cannabis use and legalize medical products using substances derived from the plant under revised laws that will take effect on December 12th. While the possession and cultivation of marijuana are already banned in Japan, the country will prohibit its use as well, setting a prison sentence of up to 7 years for a violation. Currently, Japan does not penalize cannabis use, partly to protect farmers who might accidentally absorb its substances while growing it for use in hemp products. But it reversed its stance amid increased concerns that the lack of a ban on its use is promoting drug use by young people. Wow. That's too bad. I made some poor choice. Well, I think we all have. And I think, this is the thing. You got some guy here, he's 20 years old, 25 years old, and he comes here, oh, baby, you're the love of my life. Oh. And I'm like, wait a minute, you've known her for three minutes. You're looking at her going, oh, the fuzzy triangle's all I need. And then, all of a sudden you find out, oh, I got to get her back to my country. Oh, I've got to stay here. Well, I can't work here. Let's see, what am I going to do here? I've got limited jobs, and I don't really qualify for them. Oh, and does she qualify to get into America? And all of a sudden you're going, what did I do? Because you don't want it to be that difficult. You want it to be easier, not harder. All right, let me see something here. I got one more thing. Look at these ice ball makers. Oh, here we go. 36,000+ families in north central Thailand still flooded in. Wow, what is this? Zoo chief vows action against visitors harassing popular baby hippo. Why would you harass a baby hippo? So stupid. Let me see here, what else we got here. I think that's it. Thailand's e-tax revolution. First state, now, this is the thing here about this, I've been talking about this digital wallet handout. You have to register for it. I don't even know how to register for it. Not that I can do it, but my kids could do it. Even my wife might be able to do it, although she says, no, I don't think I can. I don't think I qualify. I said, well, supposedly you do. The kids should look into it. But I just saw that you have to register, and I don't know how you have to register. I'd have to tell them to get into it. And for 10,000 baht, honestly, that you have to use in this vicinity, I don't know if it's worth it. Maybe it is. Let's see here. Yeah, the first phase will target people in vulnerable groups. Okay, so that's not them. The government will have a limited budget for the second phase of the handout scheme, and the money would come from leftover funds from the budget to improve the country's infrastructure as well as fix immediate problems. It could take over 50 years to discuss the territory issues while oil is no longer useful, blah, blah, blah. All right, so this doesn't tell me. So it doesn't tell you how to register, but whatever. Whatever, I'm not worried about it. If they don't get it, they don't get it. It's fine. Anyway. We got 28 people left, 22 thumbs up. Smash that thumbs up button. Keep smashing it. I like that. That's very nice of you all. And I like the contributions today. Thank you very much, as always. And if you got anything else to say, or, you know, you just want to say goodbye, now's the time to do it. Because we only got a couple minutes left. And random questions. Your boys have the exact same names in both their Thai and American passport. I remember hearing they wouldn't allow a Farang last name in a Thai passport. I don't know. I have to think about that. I have to look at it. Actually, oh, it's on my phone. I have their passports on my phone. I thought they were in English. Honestly, I thought their names are in English. But their last names are the same in Thai. I know that. They're spelled the same. So I'll check it out, and the next time I come in, I will know. You have to register using the Tangrach app. You know, honestly, I think my kids would probably, I have to push them to, I'd be like, listen, get that 10,000 baht. I'm going to use it. You know, you're going to go with me. I'm going to use it. That's 20,000 baht. And if your mother can do it, that's 30,000. But I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to ask them, you know, because I don't think they even know what's going on. I don't think a lot of Thais really know what's going on. I think it's really the neediest, the people who are most at risk, and the people who are most vulnerable, and the people who are dirt poor. I think they know about it, because when they see free money, they know. I mean, that's why they come down and vote for 500 baht or 1,000 baht. They come down and sit down there. They sit down there by Rajdamnern Stadium. Okay, I got it already. I have it. Thank you. That's why they go and sit there and wait. Because they get paid. They get money. They get an envelope. But, you know, that's the Thai way. So, anyway, I guess that's about it. So, thank you again, everybody. Appreciate it. I may be in tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not sure. I won't be in on Sunday because I'm going to watch the fights. Let me see something here. I got to check. Because I don't know. I don't know anything. I have to verify everything. Come on. All right, here we go. Oh, it's in Riyadh, I think. Let's see. So it's at 11:30 at night. One day, so it's 43 hours. So what would that be? 48 hours would be... 48 hours would be 10:33. So it's going to be... It's actually 20 hours. It'd be 4 hours. So it's going to start at like 6 o'clock. So yeah, I'm not going to stream on Sunday. Anyway. All right, guys. Take it easy. Have a good one. And I will see you all later. Thank you very much again. Appreciate everything. And I'll see you later. Ciao, ciao.